Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a plunge into some really ancient wisdom.
We are. We're looking through the lens of this incredible text, Anubis, Guide Through the Unknown.
Exactly. And our goal, really, is to unpack some of these excerpts. We want to understand Anubis, the ancient Egyptian god, and his role in guiding souls.
Especially through those really profound, kind of terrifying transitions.
Right.
Facing the unknown.
Yeah, that core human experience. How did the ancient Egyptians see divine help stepping in during those super vulnerable moments? It wasn't just about getting through, but finding the right path, a protected one.
It's an amazing way to look at it, isn't it? Because, okay, it's rooted in specific mythology, obviously, but the themes, they just resonate so strongly today. We're not just talking history here.
No, it feels like more.
It's almost a blueprint for dealing with uncertainty, for finding meaning when everything feels like it's shifting under your feet. These sources show this fundamental human need for clarity, for safety.
And how that need turns into faith, into actually asking for help from something bigger than us.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The sources talk about this core situation, the soul embarking on a journey into the unknown.
Right.
And it's not pictured as, like, a relaxing trip. The text is vivid. It talks about the soul being at this edge, this precipice.
Yeah, a heavy moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the heart is described as filled with a mixture of fear and hope. That specific mix.
Yeah.
What does that tell us about how the Egyptians viewed this journey?
Well, what's really fascinating there is the complexity right from the start. The journey isn't just into unknown territory, it's emotionally charged. For them, the unknown was often the duat, the underworld, which was, perilous.
Yeah, right.
So imagine the soul's essence, its personality leaving the body it knew. Now it's heading into this place of trials, transformations.
It sounds terrifying.
It was.
Yeah.
So that mix, fear and hope, it just nails the vulnerability. Fear of dangers, demons, traps, maybe even annihilation forever. But also hope. Hope of getting through it all, of reaching this transfigured state off. And, ultimately joining Osiris. It's not just sitting back and waiting.
No, it feels active, engaged.
Definitely engaged with destiny.
And you touched on this, but the sources really stressed it's not passive acceptance. The soul is calling out to Anubis.
Yes.
That active appeal, actually reaching out, that feels incredibly powerful to me. It suggests they believe they had some agency, right? Even facing the afterlife.
Absolutely. It wasn't just a silent wish. It was a direct plea, maybe even vocal.
Yeah.
And that calling out, it points to something fundamental in their religion. The relationship with the gods, it was often give and take.
Reciprocal.
Exactly. It wasn't just gods laying down the law. People, or souls in this case, they had a part to play in getting divine help.
By asking for it.
By asking, by activating their faith, showing they relied on Anubis. And the sources say this happens in the dim world.
Okay, what does that evoke?
Well, for anyone familiar, that immediately suggests the duat. Those liminal spaces, often dark, confusing before you get to eternal life. A world without landmarks, really.
Where divine guidance is the only thing you can trust.
Only true compass, yeah.
So the soul's there, facing the unknown, calling out. What happens next? How is that connection actually made? The text mentions faith's embrace, describing it as a beacon in the darkness. That sounds like more than just a passing feeling. It sounds deep.
It is. And faith's embrace isn't just internal. It shows up in real actions.
Yeah.
The sources mention whispered prayers and offerings.
Oh, okay. Tangible things.
Tangible things. And if we, connect that to wider Egyptian practices, these weren't random acts. Offerings, prayers, they were how you built and kept a relationship with a god.
Right. Standard practice.
Purposeful supplications built on tradition, reverence. And that phrase, pouring out their hearts.
Yeah, I like that.
It signals such deep sincerity, just laying bare all your fears, your hopes. For the Egyptians, this was almost a kind of ritual purity. They believed that kind of honesty actually moved the gods.
So it shows the gods paid attention to real devotion.
That's the belief, yes.
Yes.
That genuine human feeling was noticed and answered.
And this sincerity, this pouring out hearts, it leads to something specific they ask for.
It does.
The excerpts call it seeking assistance. And the words are simple: guide us.
So direct.
It's not just help me feel better, it's show me the way. What does that specificity tell us about Anubis's job description, so to speak.
That direct plea, guide us, is, well, it's incredibly telling. It means the soul isn't just asking for company.
No.
They're asking for navigation. And Anubis, as the opener of the ways, the lord of the necropolis, he was the expert.
He knew the routes.
He knew the tricky paths, the duat. So the plea shows they recognize his specific skills, which brings up, the nature of their trust.
Right. The sources say they trust in his power.
And that's not just a vague hope. It's a firm belief in his actual ability to see in that dim world, to know the secret ways, to get the soul past all the dangers.
Dangers that would trap you otherwise.
Exactly. It's trust based on his known role, his myths, his duties, and the funeral rites.
So it's guidance, but also more than that. The sources also bring up the promise of protection.
Yes.
The belief is clear. Protect us through this difficult passage. That phrase, difficult passage, immediately tells you this isn't just unknown territory, it's dangerous.
Precisely. Difficult passage is key. The duat, in their texts, it's full of nasty stuff.
Like what?
Malevolent beings, lakes of fire, scary gatekeepers, moral tests like the weighing of the heart.
Okay, yeah, definitely difficult.
So Anubis, as the embalmer, the protector of the dead body on earth, he was also believed to protect the soul's integrity in the afterlife.
Ah, okay. A continuation of his role.
Yes. He was like a shield against decay, both physical and spiritual. So this promise of protection wasn't just a general warm feeling. It was a divine guarantee against real, terrifying threats.
So the soul is basically asking for a bodyguard.
A divine escort, yeah. An insurance policy against the second death.
Which is
Complete annihilation. If the soul failed its trials, poof, gone forever.
Wow. Okay, so the stakes are incredibly high.
Extremely.
And what's really striking, according to the sources, is what happens almost immediately after this plea, this act of faith. They mention a moment of solace, this real feeling of peace amidst the unknown. And it happens before the journey is over. It's like the act of trusting, of calling out. It brings its own calm.
It's a profound psychological effect, almost spiritual. And this solace, it's shown as a direct result of the divine response.
So Anubis hears them.
Yes. He's called the faithful God who answers their prayers. It validates their faith. It's not just them hoping into the void.
There's a connection.
A clear reciprocal action, a divine acknowledgement. That peace isn't just wishful thinking, it's feeling heard, seen, cared for by the God they honored.
It's knowing the call went through.
Exactly. Knowing the invocation worked and that Ordermot is starting to win out over chaos. You often see this sense of stability mentioned in funerary texts right after the supplication. A little taste of the final rest.
And this whole process, it leads to the final outcome.
Right.
Anubis steps in fully. He becomes their guide, leading them on the correct path.
Yes.
And that path is described so beautifully as the pathway to light. Not just any path, but the correct one.
Which implies there are wrong paths.
Right. Dead ends, dangers, diversions.
Yeah.
The faithful God makes sure they get there safely and correctly.
So what does this all mean if we connect it back to the start?
Yeah.
From that initial dim world, that darkness the soul was facing, we end up on the pathway to light. It's not just finishing the trip, it's a huge transformation. Uncertainty to clarity, danger to safety, unknown to a known good destination.
So Anubis's guidance ensures they reach the right place.
The intended place, yeah.
Yeah.
A state of justified, peaceful existence. It really speaks to how belief can turn overwhelming uncertainty into a guided, purposeful journey.
Towards that cosmic order they valued so much.
Exactly. Achieving divine purpose through divine guidance. It's quite profound.
Wow. What an incredible deep dive that was into Anubis, guide through the unknown.
Yeah.
It really pulls out insights that I think resonate way beyond ancient Egypt.
Absolutely.
We've covered the soul's scary journey, the real power of active faith, asking specifically for guidance and protection.
And Anubis's role. Steady, faithful, providing comfort and the right way forward.
Such a powerful story of transition and trust.
It really is. And it just reinforces that deep ongoing link between, well, human vulnerability and our search for meaning, for guidance.
Yeah.
In those really uncertain moments, that comfort you find in faith, whether it's in a god like Anubis or just a guiding principle, it's a vital anchor. The ancient Egyptians, through gods like Anubis, they gave us this powerful way to think about how belief systems help us handle and maybe even transcend life's biggest unknowns. They understood the asking is as important as the arriving.
Maybe the real lesson here then, for you listening, isn't just about Anubis guiding the soul in the afterlife. Maybe it's about how that act of calling out, of really pouring out your heart, can light up your own path. How it brings that moment of solace, even before you get the answer. It's that courage, maybe, to admit you're vulnerable and actively ask for direction. Sometimes that's the first spark. That's what shows you the way forward in your own dim world.
That's a great thought to end on.
Well, thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through Anubis, Guide Through the Unknown.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.